Hi everyone, my name is Natasha Telger with Illinois WorkNet, and thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about um, the Customer Support Center, and you can easily access the Customer Support Center. If you are an Illinois WorkNet partner, number one, I want to go ahead and show you where the information is on the partner side. So I was on Illinois WorkNet and I clicked on the icon up here that took me over to the partner side. So you'll see it's a little bit different. It's blue, says Workforce and Education Partners. And there's a couple ways you can get to it. You can get to the Customer Support Center information through the blue menu, but then we also have, some other ways you can get to it. For example, down here with the tile for the Customer Support Center, we have a variety of components to the Customer Support Center, and those are all listed in this Customer Support Center Partner Guide. So you can see the different resources that we have. We have some articles, we have some past webinars, and we have a full list of resources. And then if you ever want to see some updates that we're making to the Customer Support Center, those are available in our Partner Tools updates. So when I think about the Customer Support Center, what is the Customer Support Center? Why do we have it? So we have the Customer Support Center because there are a variety of tools that Illinois WorkNet users can use, different resources in Illinois WorkNet. And if they are logged in as an authenticated user within Illinois WorkNet, it saves those different results. And so over the years, as we've worked with different pilot groups, we've developed a variety of tools. I'll just kind of scroll down here a little bit so you can see we have a variety of assessments that users can complete that save those results in Illinois WorkNet. We have a career plan that they have their self-access career plan, but you as a career planner could work with them and add additional steps to those career plans and help them help them to reach their career and training goals. We have resume builders, success stories. There's a variety of things that the customers can access themselves and save. And so over the years, we've developed the Customer Support Center. So we give access to our Illinois WorkNet partners so you can view the saved information for that customer and be able to provide, feedback and guidance on next steps. And these resources are all free to Illinois WorkNet partners. Okay, so we're on the guide. We talked about the different resources that are available. These are the different tools. We do have, in the past, we've had some different types of webinars and in-person events. So those are past calendar events are listed there as well. Okay, so we have a couple of different ways that you can access the Customer Support Center. One, whenever you go to this guide, there's a link right here that says Customer Support Center Partner Tools. If you're logged in, you'll go directly to those tools. If you're not, you'll be prompted to log into your Illinois WorkNet account. I'm already logged into my Illinois WorkNet account, and so you can see once I'm already logged in, I have this extra bar up here, regardless of if you're on, oops, let me just go back to the other side. Whether I'm on the orange side or the blue side, you'll see once you're logged in, you have this bar. When I click on My Dashboard, your customers will see the orange section, but since you are a partner, you will have additional tools. So you'll see the partner tools. So what we're going to do is when you're logged in, you click My Dashboard and you go to the Customer Support Center. I'm logged in, so you'll see a wide variety of groups. So I think I have one already pulled up, narrowed down to just my groups. So if you don't have any groups listed, then you can select to add your personal group, and that's what we're going to focus on today. If you happen to have been part of some other different pilot groups, then whatever you have access to, you'll see those listed. So it could be EPIC, it could be Youth Career Pathways, whatever you have been given access to in the past, you'll see that list right here. Now, each of these groups are kind of like buckets. They're different programs. And so if you have a pilot program, your tools might look a little bit different for like Community Youth Employment Program versus something that's like EPIC or the Youth Career Pathways. Those groups might look a little different. What we're going to focus on today is your personal group, because the personal group is available to all Illinois WorkNet partners. You don't need any other special access to the personal group other than just simply being a partner. We have a couple ways that you can add your customers to your personal group. One of which is a customer invitation, and we have a link to the instructions and an overview right here. So if you would like to print those out or review those at that moment, you're welcome to do that. And so all you would do is you would need to put in an individual's email address and invite the customer. And I'll just show you. Once you send that email, they will get an invitation that invites them to join the group, gives them a little bit of information, tells them about the privacy policy, terms and conditions, and who is sending that email, and then they can choose to join that group or not. If you are in a room of people, maybe, then you can use the group invitation. And so in order to do this, you'll just type in a passcode. I'm going to do NT, let's see, what is today, the 25th, 2020. The one thing about this passcode is it does need to be unique. So then I'm going to put our test for 9/25, and you can put your title, so maybe it's your youth program or your orientation, maybe it's a special, manufacturing group. You can customize your title. You can also customize the message that is within this block. So you can see we already have it pre-populated with "you're invited to work with a career advisor for free." We give them like the high-level overview, tell them about protecting their information is important. So we give them the links to the privacy policy, terms and conditions, but you can also add additional information to that. When I do create invitation, I click the button that says your invitation has been created, and then you can see that it says successfully created group invitation, and we have this printed invitation. So in the past, some of our groups have printed out these little strips of paper basically, and just had them available so that if they're working with a group of people, they could pass them out, or as people come in, they could hand it to them. You could also, put this just up on a screen, or you could simply copy and paste the information and put it into a group email if you already have your group already identified. It's very simple. We just give them the URL on how to click on. Then they would be prompted to either set up their account or log into their account. And then they would enter the passcode that you created. And once they do that, then they accept the invitation and they're added to the group. Okay. So let me go back to not make that so huge. So let's say you had, pretending that we can all be in larger groups right now, it's a different time, so maybe you have 15 people in a group or 6 people in a group. And they're in your office, you have those instructions, and you give it to everybody. They do this all at the same time. Next thing you know, as soon as they accept that invitation, then they're going to go into your view customers. So when you go to your view customers, you'll be able to see last name, first name, and these are all my sample people. And they're going to go currently with our current customer group. It's all going to go into this bigger bucket, which is your personal group. We are going to be, we've been working on different approaches so that you can have, multiple customer support center groups. But currently right now, what's still out there for all of our partners to use is the personal group, which is like the big bucket for all of your people. So what you can do is, let's say you have your group of people that come in on Monday and Wednesday, and then you have a different group of people that come in on Tuesday and Thursday. Then you can create subgroups. And subgroups are just a way to, divide up your larger bucket, a group of people. So all you do is click Add Subgroup, and then you can give it a title and so forth, and put in the description, and then you can add your people that are from your bigger bucket into each of those subgroups. So if you just want to work with the Monday people, you could work with, this group of people, that would be your Monday people, and this group, which is your Tuesday people. Okay. So that's how we can see the different people that are in our group. You can also invite partners to join your group, and then that way they can access the group as well. And then we have some additional instructions and so forth. So we're going to take a look at some of the tools that are available for within our personal group. And so we're going to look at Leanne. I think I have Leanne already open. Yes, I have Leanne already open. Okay. So many of our customers are working with different partners. So you might have a person that's been working with DHS and they're with their community youth employment program, or maybe now they're in an apprenticeship program, or maybe they're in somebody else's personal group. In this example, we had a person which was a CYEP. Well, actually, that's a subgroup, but you would see the different group names here. And if you have access to those groups, then you could easily access that information. But if you don't have access to those groups, this listing is still provided here, so you can see some of the other programs that this person has participated in. I'm at the state level, so I would see a details tab. You will not see the details tab. The next thing we're going to look at is the career plan. So the sample that I'm showing you right now is just, they're not with any other special groups, so they don't have like a CYEP, a Community Youth Employment Program, a career plan, or they don't have, something that would be like Youth Career Pathways. If they're working with a special program, they might have other career plans that are here. This person is just our general participant, And so they have one career plan, and if it says Illinois WorkNet, that means it's like your standard available to everybody career plan. So I'm going to click on Illinois WorkNet. Now the career plan has been put together based on lots of input. A lot of these tools that we have, or all these tools actually that we have, are really based on what our lessons learned have been by working with other pilot programs. So for example, we started out with a career plan with the EPIC program, and it has evolved by working with the youth career pathways as far as CYEP. We're working on some additional enhancements as well. So you may see this change over time, but whenever we do make the changes to these different tools, what we do is we try them and test them out in our pilot sites, and then we make the updates to these tools, which we call our global tools. So based on the feedback from quite a few career planners and their examples that are in the field and actually using the tools, we have this career plan set up so that you have an overview page, so you can see their profile that's here. You can see if they have submitted, they have agreed to the career plan. So you can either show that you're going to upload it, or you're unable to get the agreement, or you can send it electronically to the customer for them to agree to the career plan. So whatever that status is will show up here. So you can see Leanne has a status of the customer agreement is uploaded and on file. You can see a high-level overview of their assessments, and then accomplishments, and then down below, again, this is the overview view of their career plan. So you can see their goals. We can do a show next steps, hide steps. You can see what category each of these goals is with. You can see based on the different steps that are within this section of the career plan, the earliest start date and the latest planned completion date, and if they're on track or not started. So this is the overview. Oh, and you can also see any case notes that were added for this particular person. Now, it's set up, again, this is the overview, but it's set up so there's a process. So the first part is to really work with the customer and do assessments. And what we have here is different standard sets of assessments that are available. Once you do those different types of assessments, then you can use the results and do an assessment summary. Now, there's nothing that's going to stop you or prevent you from putting together a career plan by not completing each one of these steps. But it is a recommended approach whenever putting together the career plan. So the idea is that, you review the different types of assessments. If you have your own assessment, you can add other assessment results into the system and save those as well. You can use the standard set of assessments that are within Illinois WorkNet. You look at that holistically, and you select an area that says the readiness training. And then, you have a conversation with that person, and so they can say, okay, as far as readiness training, my strengths are this. What do I need to improve? What will my case manager do to support me? What will my career advisor or career coach do to support me? What will my family do? And what are some other supports? So, in some of these cases, it may be, I don't have a case manager, or I don't have a family member that will help support me. So it's just, again, it's a process, so you can go through each of these areas, have a discussion with the customer, and help identify strengths and areas that you need that they need assistance with. Then we go to setting goals. So now we know what areas that we need to work on. You can add goal statements. So each person that uses the general Illinois WorkNet career plan starts out with a standard set of goal statements, because we have a standard set of services that automatically populate with each of these goal statements. So we have get a job or work experience, get training to enhance your skills, get support to reach your goals, living independently. So that's the standard set. But as you can see, this is my test person. So you can see that I, can add a goal. I can say this one is going to be, support services. It's a short-term goal, and they haven't started it yet, so I'm adding it. So now you can see I've added a new goal. And if I want to add services or steps to that, I can just simply click the add button, or I can always, select the next tab. So when I go to this page, I can see, what the different goals that are already, or steps that are already added for each of these sections. So I could update any of these areas. So let me just I'll just go through these real quick. So for each of these steps, we have, learning how to prepare to find a job, attending leadership, skills training, being part of a job club, build your portfolio. These are the high level, titles of this step. The customer also has a view, so they'll see these high-level topics, I guess you could say, or high-level, titles of a step. And we also have an expanded description, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But the description will include links to the different resources that are in Illinois WorkNet. So if we have a resource in Illinois WorkNet, then you'll have a link to it. And the idea behind that is that you don't have to memorize where everything is in Illinois WorkNet. We can use the career plan to kind of guide them through that process and put the links to the different resources right there within their career plan. So whenever you're going to edit an existing career plan, you can see it's already associated with a goal. You can enter a planned start date, a planned due date, and then how many hours, and then you can add other notes. You can also identify which situations or barriers that this particular step addresses. So learn how to prepare to find a job. Maybe that's going to help with limited work experience. So you can identify the different barriers that could help a person with. If I changed this to completion, you're going to see now that it's going to ask for a completion date. I can update the service, and then I'll be prompted to add a case note, and I can do that. We're just going to type in here and then add case note. And that was updated. So that's updating an existing step or service. If I want to add a new one, we've changed this look. It's going to change some more, but we wanted to be able to provide that description that I was talking about. So, for example, putting together your elevator speech. So you can see that this has a link to Illinois WorkNet tools. This one as well, use the interview tools and the resume builder, so that probably leads to an article that talks about the different tools that are available within the resume builder. So we have a variety of things that you can see, through here. If you wanted to narrow it down to this, say like resume, you can use your search, and then it'll narrow it down to the services or steps that have the word resume with them. We will be adding additional filters up here so you can narrow this down even more. So for the current pilot project that we're working on right now, this section is being updated, so you can expect it to change a little bit, but it will be to help you with easily accessing the narrowing down your results for the different services. Okay. Oh, I guess, hold on, let me just show you real quick. If I add a service, and hit OK, you can see that once I add the service, it's just kind of go into this, I guess, holding area. It's not associated with any of these steps below, but once I click on that service, I can put it down here with my test. I can say, yeah, it's still not started, and we'll make it start in October, and it would be done in November, and maybe 2 hours. And if you want to put some notes in there, you can put some notes in there, and then update that service. And I can put notes in here and save this. The other thing I should have mentioned while I was adding that, but I forgot. I'll show it to you in just a second. But I just want to show you that when we add the service, it went down here and under the goal that I had just added for today. The one thing I should have mentioned to you as I was adding that case note is one of the things that we can use our case notes with is to use it as a communication tool, as well as just simply a case note tool. So you can select the different, maybe it's general, maybe it's follow-up, maybe you can say that you want to talk to them about an assessment, and you put your text here. You can send this, you can save it just as a case note without emailing it, or we have Illinois WorkNet messages within Illinois WorkNet, or you can say, I want to save as an Illinois WorkNet message, and I want to send an email to the customer. So whenever I add the case note, then it will send that message as an email to that customer as well. And that way you can document your, that you had made contact with that customer. So you can see it was sent as a message and an email by Natasha at this date at this time. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, and then we have the update log. So you can see the different updates that have been made to this career plan. So that's the career plan in a nutshell. A high-level quick overview. Oh, let me go down here. We're looking at the overview page. You can see that the service that I added is down here as well. So as you make these updates, it's going to, change the overview page, and also the customer will have a view of this as well. So as you make updates, they will be able to see those updates that are being made in the system as well. If you're in person with the customer, you can print a customer copy, and there are signature lines down at the bottom. I believe you have the customer's signature, your signature, and if you wanted to save that and put it in the file, that's an option as well. Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Okay. I'm going to go back to Leanne. You can see, I can't remember if this person, well, real quick. As you work with your customers, it's really important, as I'm sure you can tell, by working with the different groups, we really only want customers to have one account, okay? And that way everything is saved with their one account, because sometimes people will say, but I already did that. I did that. And when you as a career plan, here you go, you look at it, you're like, well, it's not in here. In those situations, I'd say like 99% of the time, it's because a person has more than one account. So what we have available is the reset password. So one of the nice things about being able to have them in your personal group is that you can look them up and you can say, hey, Leanne, your username is this, and it's associated with this email. So, either you can do password recovery through this email, or it's not a problem. I can hit reset password, and when I hit reset password, it's going to create a temporary password for Leanne, and then she'll be able to use that password to get into her account and reset the password to something that is meaningful to her. Okay, so we also have, I'm trying to remember, I have my other sample account up here, I believe. That's Leanne. That's Leanne. All right, we have my sample account. Sample account has been around for a long time, since 2009. And so I have a few more things built up in this account to show you. So as we mentioned before, we have our groups, groups, career plan, and assessments. If they have skills and interests, you can click on view interests. This is connected with CIS, and so you'll be able to see the different assessments that are available to them through CIS. So it does like a single sign-on. So you could go through and restore their answers and see the results. Okay, if they don't have anything there, I think it says something like no skills and interest or something like that. We have the disability benefits estimator that's available. We have employment 101, so you can see if they took the pre-assessment, post-assessment, and what they scored. And then you can also view their plan and guides, so you can see the work that they've done so far. The new Employment 101 will be coming out very soon, so keep your eyes open for that. We do have a NOCTI assessment, the 21st Century Skills, and so that's available for free through Illinois WorkNet as well. And once it basically does a single sign-on and puts them into the NOCTI system. They complete the assessment online, and then those scores pass back through Illinois WorkNet, so you can view their scores within their assessments area. The self-evaluation is a new tool that basically the individual can evaluate their own essential employability skills. We have the observational evaluation, which is the tool that it was originally developed really for a classroom type setting or training setting, where they're working with an instructor over a period of time. And so as part of that process, they start out to say, it's kind of like it would evaluate them the same way as like an employer would. So let me just show you quick. Here's an example. With this particular sample, you can see we have the fundamentals: appearance, timeliness, speaking, and then we have work ethic, problem solving. And so this is an assessment where an instructor would actually log into Illinois WorkNet and click new assessment, and they would complete that assessment within Illinois WorkNet. We also have the worksite evaluation, and this would be for those who are, at on the job, as I would say, like at a work site. And you can either you can either, as a career planner, get the information from that person's supervisor and enter it into the system, or you can um, send that out as an email to the supervisor, and they click the link, they complete the assessment and submit it. And once they submit it, it populates Illinois WorkNet. So in the observational evaluation, the person who's doing the evaluation would need to have an Illinois WorkNet partner login account. In the worksite evaluation example, the supervisor does not need to have an Illinois WorkNet account. It's the career advisor that would say, let me send this evaluation to Mark. And Mark would get the email and complete it, and all the information would populate inside the customer support center. And we also have additional assessments I've talked about before. So you could add TABE, you could do other assessments. And what this does is we really put it out there to be like we're collecting like a bank of like best practice type um, assessments. So as more and more people use this, you can see what are some of the different assessments that people have used and added to the system. So especially, let's say you're a group and you use this particular assessment. Once you add it in once, you don't have to, type in the text every single time. It's going to remember it. So you can add the assessment date, the results. I don't know what that would be, and that they add a credential. We'll just say no. I'm just going to say we're using it for career coaching and that it's computer based. I'm not going to really submit it because I don't want to mess up this, but you can add it to the system and it will just populate in the more assessments section. The next tab we have is Optimal Resume. They're going to be changing the name soon, so we'll just be calling it the Resume Builder. But the tools are still there, and our customers will still have access to the resume, so no worries there. But anything that your customers have saved in their Optimal Resume account, you'll be able to see here. So you can see this particular one is an assessment, and these are examples of resumes. So there's a variety of things. So if they saved a portfolio or a letter, then those would be saved here in this tab as well. So let's say that these are pretty old. So let me just make sure that they are all good to go. But they say, okay, sample account, you needed to get your resume together for manufacturing, and I click on the web version so I can look at this. Now I can't change it in their account, but I can look at it and say, oh, this is looking really good, or you might want to update this section. So you can view the information that's here. And if you wanted to say, send a message that says, hey, this looks really good, but you'd like to make these updates, you can use the messaging tool to provide them feedback as well. As one way to do it. If they have a success story, we always encourage people to submit success stories. There's multiple ways to do this. You don't have to do this through the Customer Support Center. You can do this through general WorkNet as well, but this is a place that they can add success stories. So if you have a person that has added their success story, you'll be able to see it here. Or maybe they've worked with a couple different programs, and so you'll be able to see the different success stories that they've entered for each of those programs. If they have any work sites, you can add the work site information. Worksite placement tool is another tool that's available. And if we had any outcomes that were listed here, like for example, you'll see services and goals. If they're associated with IWDS and have measurable skills gains, you'll be able to see those as well. Same thing with employment, credentials that they've earned. Those are just summary tools that are available on within this set of tools that we have available. So that is your super fast overview of the things that are available within the Customer Support Center. We talked about inviting customers. We talked about the career plan quite a bit, the different types of assessments. Um, is there anything else that you would like to know about the Customer Support Center before our time is up today? You can type it in the chat. Otherwise, I just want to go back to our Customer Support Center guide, and you'll be, like I said, we have different instructions, different tools that are available. Oh, I don't think I showed you the Quick Start Guide. The Quick Start Guide has shorter tutorials for each of these topic areas. So we have a high-level overview of the Customer Support Center, setting up your groups, accessing your groups, staff, worksite placement, career plan, and running reports and that type of thing. All right. Well, if you don't have any questions, I want to say thank you for participating in the webinar today. And you are always welcome to contact us. Let me go down to the bottom here. Here we are, contact us. I was looking right at it. You can click contact us, or if you just want to send an email to info@illinoisworknet.com. That email is monitored every day. And so if you don't know the specific person to contact, you can always email info@illinoisworknet.com, and they will direct your question to the appropriate staff person who can help you with whatever issue that you're having. So with that, thank you everyone, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day and a great weekend. Thanks.